Hey guys, welcome back. In 5 minutes, I want to explain to you why I am getting a little bit bullish on crypto. Now, this is coming from someone who does believe that overall and eventually we're going to see Bitcoin come crashing below 30,000, but I don't think the time is now. I trade the market every week. Okay, and what you pick up on as a trader is the energy of the market. For example, if you don't trade the market, you're not going to feel the energy of it like someone who does play the market, every couple days. I don't trade every day, okay? But I trade a lot more often than the typical person. So I can feel the market a lot better than most people. And what I'll tell you is there's not enough energy or there's not enough threat to make any threatening sharp move lower right now. At least that is what I am interpreting whenever I trade this market on an almost daily basis. And so right now, when you combine that feeling, okay, and usually you don't want to use your feelings in trading, right? So we're not going to just depend solely on our feelings. We're going to look at the charts as well. And what I see here, okay, is look at the MACD when we set the bottom at 33K, it was down here. Look at the MACD when we set this bottom down at 34K, it was right here. Now look at this, we're setting what I think is another higher low here, right there. And look where the MACD is, it's about to cross back up there. So 3 higher highs in the MACD, 3 higher lows in price, combined with my feeling, then to me, boom, that's a chart, a technical confirming factor that's proving my feeling to be correct. Once again, you don't want to depend on feelings, so that's why we're ignoring the feelings now and we're actually looking at the charts. Third, what do you notice, right? As price is overall coming lower, we see the strength of Bitcoin is getting higher, right? RSI divergence, that's a bull RSI divergence, meaning the price is trying to come lower, but as it comes lower, strength is actually gathering and gaining, and it's actually getting stronger, okay? And so that these two things obviously reinforce that feeling that I get whenever I trade this market is there's not enough juice, there's not enough energy to push us down right now. And that can come later, okay? You have to understand we've only gotten beat up since 69K. We haven't had a bear market bounce really, besides 33K to 45K. It's been pure pain pretty much. And so it's not out of the ordinary to get big bounces in bear markets. Go back to 2018. And people will say, well, crypto's so different. Crypto's so, so much more adoption now. Okay, but price and how it moves is not that different. All right, and so back in 2018, right, you get a massive bounce here of 98%. And then look what you do, right? After you bounce 98%, look what you do, right? You drop, okay, 70%. So, you get these big bounces in bear markets, and every time when you get a big bounce, people think the bull market's back on, and they hold the bag all the way down. All right, and you don't want to be that person, but you do want to take advantage and profit on these up moves that we see in bear markets, right? So, bounce number 1 in the bear market in 2018, 98%. Bounce number 2 in the bear market of 2018, 52%, right? So, boom, right here. Bounce number 2, 52%. Here we bounce again, and it's a 40% bounce, guys. Okay, so 3 massive bounces ranging between 40 and 90% here. That didn't mean the bear market was over and the bull market began. But what you're going to see is, just like every time here in 2018, it was a bull trap. Right here, it was a bull trap, right? Everyone thinks, oh, bull market's back on. Oh, bull market's back on. Oh, we're going to the moon. Okay, because you get a 40% bounce, which is really nice. It's really nice. A 40% bounce is a lot, but it's not so great when it's followed by a crash right after. And that's what you don't want to get stuck doing. Okay, price is very similar, right? We may have more adoption, we may have more people in the game, belief in the asset may be stronger this time around, but overall, the way price moves always remains the same, whether it's in 1968 or today in 2022. People sell when they see price goes down, and people buy when they see price goes up, right? So watch, once you start seeing price goes up, you're going to start FOMOing and you're going to start buying, right? That's just how the market works, and that's why price oftentimes, whether it was 50 years ago or now, is very, very similar, right? And so you got to realize we haven't even had the biggest bounce we've had so far in Bitcoin. It's not big at all. It's been like, well, from 33K up to 40 right here up to the biggest bounce we've had is 39% in this bear market. Now, once again, go back to 2018. We saw every bounce in 2018. The lowest bounce we got was 42% bounce, right? And we saw a bounce as high as 98%. So we haven't even got one of those big bounces. I mean, you could consider 39% as one of those bear market bounces, but that's kind of my take is, it's not even surprising to get a bear market bounce, okay? The bull market's back on, right? And just like 2018, right? And that's just how bear markets work, okay? You don't just go down in a straight line. And remember, back in 2018, I know you've heard me say this so many times, but, no one thought we'd go below 10K again. They said, grab your Bitcoin. We're never going to go below there. Not only did we go below 10K, people were wrong by about 70% to where the bottom was of 3,000, right? So it's the same thing today. No one thinks we'll get below 30K, right? It's the ultimate support, institutional adoption, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. And so no one thinks we'll get below there. We're still above it, all right? Now, last time in 2018, remember, no one thought Bitcoin could go below 10K again. People were 70% wrong. What happens if people are, again, 68% wrong in 2022 about Bitcoin not being able to go below 30K? Well, where does that take you, right? If people are 68% wrong again, it takes you to 9,000, okay? And that's my ultimate, that's the absolute worst case. I don't think that's going to happen. You know me. Look, guys, I go as far as to pin this on my Twitter and go public when I say this stuff. I think the bottom will be somewhere between 9K, right? And that's how I get my 9K target. Is people were 68% wrong in 2018, they could definitely be 68% wrong again. But that's the worst case scenario in my opinion, okay? Now, 26K is my more modest target of where I think we're going to go to. 23 to 26K, and that mostly comes off the head and shoulders pattern and, the fact that we're in a state of economic contraction, not expansion, right? We've got interest rate hikes, and all these conditions is what creates the bear market. What you got to realize is the bear market is not happening because of war, okay? War is it's an event that happens within the bear market, okay? And overall, the crash didn't begin because of the war, and it's not going to end because of the war, right? And so a lot of people think, let's say like, I don't know how the war is going right now. I don't pay attention to the news, but I just, I hear about it because, I got my OG 100 Alpha Discord and all this. So, but I've heard, okay, but let's just say, all right, sorry. Let's say the war was over. Once again, I don't know how it's going, but let's just say it was over and price pumped. Okay, once again, the crash did not begin because of the war. It's not going to end because of the war. And I actually think that this, let's say war ended or conflict is resolved here. Once again, don't know how it's going right now. That would be the perfect bull trap in my opinion, because once war is over, once everything looks good and sunshine and rainbows again, that's exactly when the Fed is going to need to get more aggressive raising rates, right? And so right now they're going to take it easy because we're in this state of war and conflict right now, and inflation is going crazy. Oil up to $115. This is a very hard environment to be pulling the plug, right, for the Fed. And so, they're not going to do it so aggressively, right? But let's say, once again, sunshine and rainbows, war is over, or conflict is resolved, or things get better. Now it looks good, right? Now people see it's pumping. Well, that's exactly when the Fed will probably step in and have to get more aggressive to really put the lid on the can here, or the lid on the jar for inflation, and really deal with what got us into this crash in the first place, right? Why did we crash, guys? It's in expectation and in anticipation and in lead up to rate hikes, okay? And so once you understand that this crash is about rate hikes, it's not about the war, then you understand that once we actually have to deal with the consequences of inflation by adjusting rates, that is where we'll likely continue paying again. And so it's kind of what I'm thinking, guys. And so let's say, I just drew this up, but let's say from the bottom at 33K, that's a 60% bounce. That makes sense right there, right? That makes sense. And, who knows exactly how high we could bounce, but to me, that's just what I think is I'm highly bearish overall. I absolutely think we'll get below 30K because nobody in the world thinks we will. And that's to me a great indicator that we will, because when were people ever right? You know, people are usually wrong. Okay, so yeah, I just bet against that, and most of the times I'm going to be right, and so I stand by that, right? So that's my analysis on Bitcoin. I do think that we have some good upside potential here. I am not nearly as bullish on altcoins as I am on Bitcoin, and that's a really simple explanation. Look at Bitcoin dominance; it's near the 40s, and so everyone who tries to hype you up about an altcoin season, it's kind of annoying, right? Because if you look in the history of Bitcoin, we've never really gotten below 40% Bitcoin dominance. Now, what do you see? We see a very bullish, okay, divergence here in Bitcoin dominance. And so to me, right, look at this. 2018, we're down here. And now look, we're down here with a massive bull divergence in both the MACD and the RSI. And so that's why I'm so bullish on Bitcoin and Ethereum compared to altcoins, okay? A lot of the liquidity is not going to go to garbage. It's not going to go to crappy altcoins. It's going to be piling into Bitcoin and Ethereum, the top tier blue chips. And we know that because of this Bitcoin dominance chart, guys. It's all in the charts. And so anyone who tries to hype you up about an altcoin season, it's just, you probably still can make more money in altcoins than you can in Bitcoin and Ethereum. But I'm telling you, not every altcoin is going to be surging like it was before. This is a totally different environment. See, when Bitcoin dominance gets up here, that's when you want to be piling in heavy into altcoins. This is where you make life-changing returns. If Bitcoin ever gets up here in dominance, okay, that's where you load the fucking boat on altcoins. But when it's down here, this is when altcoins simply are not in the right conditions to be pumping to the magnitudes of which you see when Bitcoin dominance is going from here to here, right? And so to me, this is a super bullish setup in Bitcoin. That's why I highly prefer Bitcoin and Ethereum to altcoins. Obviously, some altcoins are still going to produce way greater returns than Bitcoin and Ethereum. It makes sense. These are large cap cryptos here in Bitcoin and Ethereum. But at the end of the day, you got to pick quality and you got to pick the few, the few, right? You don't want to be going into any and every garbage altcoin out there. So that is my analysis today on Bitcoin. That is why I do see upside, and that is why I am short-term bullish on Bitcoin and Ethereum. And so guys, if you want these real-time updates, follow me on Twitter. Bullish on crypto short term. I posted this message in my OG 100 Alpha Discord, and I actually shared this on Twitter with you today. So it was kind of like a paragraph explaining this video, and so you can go and read that as well. So if you want real-time updates on this stuff and when I'm making switches, I've been highly, highly bearish, and I still am overall, but I do see upside potential here in the short term, and that is what I'm thinking, guys. All right, so short-term bull here. I know everyone thinks I'm a big bad bear, but guys, I do what makes me money, and right now I think the bull side is the right side, and I could be wrong, but we're gonna find out. So to me, that's what I'm looking for. We see some strong volume coming in. Remember last week when we did our analysis, I said, how are we going to start the week? I said, is the dump over heading into the week? And I said, look at that volume. That does not indicate a bottom. Well, this volume right here has a much higher chance of being a temporary bottom. So here we go, guys. All right, putting my analysis and my overall stance on the market out. Whether I'm right or wrong, we're going to see, right? Bitcoin can dump back off, and you'll be like, Alex, you're stupid, dude. Why'd you switch from bearish to bullish? Overall, my stance stays the same in the overall big picture. I still believe that with time, we will come below 30K. So that's my analysis. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like. Make sure you subscribe. And that is my analysis. I'll see you on the next one. Take care, and I will see you guys then. Bye.